Recording is in progress. Okay, so welcome, Monday. So here's what we're going to talk about today: how to build sales confidence. Confidence specifically to sales. So we've talked previously about just how to build confidence, how to keep yourself up when days are not going very good, how to keep yourself energized, how to create energy. We've done all these other different things. So today I want to talk about confidence specific to sales, because you are a sales person. Now, I know sometimes people in this industry, for whatever reason, don't like that term. I don't know why. You are a salesperson. You're not a, you know what, I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to, ask too much for business. You're not that person. You are a salesperson. So we need to talk about building sales confidence. Now, there's some things in sales confidence that are the same thing as just regular confidence. Okay, so you'll notice some of that as we go through this list of building sales confidence, that some of this is just confidence in general. Okay, and then some of them will be more specific to sales. Some of these are going to be things that you've heard before. Some of them maybe you haven't heard before, or maybe you've heard them before, but this is either a good reminder or looking at it from a different angle. All right, the goal here is to find at least a couple points that resonate with you to say, wow, that's a good point. That works for me. So let me ask you this. Do you think, and you can either answer by unmuting yourself, you can put a comment in the chat box. Do you think confidence is an important part of the sales process?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, so I got a couple yeses.
Yes.
Okay, great. So everyone agrees on that. I just want to make sure that we are in agreement on that. Otherwise, I can talk about other stuff. All right, great. Fantastic. So we agree that confidence is a major factor in the sales process. So let me give you an example of confidence being an example in the sales process. And just as an example, I can always share my own stories. So have you ever had someone tell you a story or give you advice and you weren't sure if it was real or not, but their confidence made you believe them? Has that ever happened?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So let me share a story with you on the example of confidence. I have this ability, and there's no way for me to make any money off this ability. So it's a useless ability that I have. And that is, if you could say anything and I could just create on the spot a very random story about the situation. So let me give you an example. Years ago, I'm sitting on the couch with my roommate. Now, this is just how far back we're going here. There used to be a music streaming source that you could use for free. It was called LimeWire. Okay, some of you might know what LimeWire is. This is back in the day. Okay, so my roommate at the time was trying to download Elvis music, and so he's looking for Elvis, and the name Elvis Crespo comes up, and he goes, "Who's Elvis Crespo?" And I just instantly jump into the story. You don't know who Elvis Crespo is? He was this guy. I mean, this is who Elvis was named after. It's this and that. I'm just this whole story. And my roommate's like, "Are you really?" I was like, "Oh yeah, you got to download the music." I have no idea who Elvis Crespo is. So he downloads Elvis Crespo, and the very first song, he hits song, and the very first thing says "Suavemente," like this, and it's just all Spanish music. And he just looks at me and goes, "You bastard." Like, but the point is, because I had the confidence in this story, he downloaded the catalog of Elvis Crespo. Now, it turns out that Elvis Crespo is actually pretty good, but it was a funny moment. So sales confidence can get people to believe you and move with you, which is exactly what we're trying to do as real estate agents. So confidence is key. Okay, so what I have written down here are a number of ideas points on how to build sales confidence. Let's go ahead and jump into that. So they're not written in any particular order of importance. This is just how they're laid out. Number one thing I wrote down here on how to build sales confidence is focus and build upon your areas of strength. Focus and build upon your areas of strength. Confident salespeople know their strengths and they work to develop them to even stronger strengths, and they work to develop them to maximize the return on that strength. Now, here's the thing. This is not being arrogant. If you have a strength and you know it's a strength, that's not being arrogant, that's being confident. Okay? So, how would you know if something is a strength? How would you know if something is a strength? What would you think?
You get a lot of feedback.
You get a lot of feedback, sure. A lot of feedback. A lot of people tell you that's a strength, or you've had a lot of success in that particular category. Therefore, you know it's a strength. So to get more confident, build your sales confidence, focus on your areas of strengths. See, what some people do is they say, well, figure out your weakness and then work on building your weakness. Why would you want to have your weakness on your mind all day? Well, hey, I suck at this. So let's talk about how much I suck at this all day long until I don't suck at this anymore. That's confident building if I've ever heard it. Or I can take my strength and say, gosh, I'm really good at this. How can I maximize this strength? I'm good at this. How can I get more production from it? How can I get it even stronger? Right? There's no basketball player that goes, you know what? I'm dominant with my right hand. You know what I should do? I should practice shooting three-pointers with my left. They don't do that. There's no kicker in football that goes, I kick with my right leg. You know what I'm going to do today? 60-yard field goals. I'm going to try it with my left. I'm not going to do that. They're going to say, how do I get my right leg to kick it stronger, farther, harder? How do I get my right hand to be even more dominant with the shot or whatever hand they are? Take your strength, maximize it to your ability. Okay? Now, with your weaknesses, identify your weaknesses and either A, figure out how to get them to a little bit less weak, or just get rid of that area altogether. But build upon your strengths. So your strengths could be, for example, maybe you're not a great cold caller, but maybe you have an unbelievable ability with your database to generate more business. So why don't you make 80% of your calls and 80% of your marketing to your database instead of cold calling? Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe your database just isn't very good. Hold on. Maybe your database isn't very good, but you're great on the phone. You're great hunting. Make more of your time hunting. How do I maximize that? How do I get more out of it? Focus and build upon your strengths. Don't focus on your weaknesses all the time. Helps you build more and more confidence. All right, the second thing I wrote down here, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this one, but it just bears repeating in pretty much any category we talk about, is replace negative energy with positive influences. Replace negative energy with positive influences. If you are surrounded by people that don't have any confidence that deals can be done in this business, are you also likely to agree that there's no deals that could be done in this business? If that's who you surround yourself with? Yes? No?
True.
Maybe so?
Yes. True. Yes.
Right. So if your surrounding influences are people that are, well, gosh, there's just no way to get listings in this market. Well, what do you think? Oh, yeah, no, this market's terrible for listings. What do you think? Well, I think the market's going to crash. Oh, good. You're not going to break out of that barrier. You're in prison. You're in confidence prison. Maximum security. You're in San Quentin. Some of you don't know what San Quentin is. It's bad. That's what I could give you. It's the most information I can give you. It's bad. Okay. So you need to make sure that the people that you're surrounding yourself with have some sort of confidence. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to surround yourself with people that are all crushing it, but you have to surround yourself with people that believe that it's possible. Okay? Because if you don't, your confidence just crashes, because your mind starts thinking, well, maybe they're right. Maybe there is no way to get listings in this marketplace. Maybe it is impossible to get an FHA buyer into escrow. Maybe it is. Maybe they're right. Maybe they're right. Maybe they're right. And every time you say maybe they're right, your confidence level drops a little further. Well, maybe they're right. Maybe they're right. Maybe they're right every time. So replace the negative energy with positive influences. Now that includes people in and out of real estate. Because let's be honest, some of the people that drain our confidence the most aren't in real estate. Yes or no? Right. Right. So, I mean, well, you're in real estate. It's not really that, you don't really have a real job. So why don't you take the day off? Why don't you go do this? You don't have a real job. You're a real estate agent. You have to make sure you're mindful of those kind of people, because they will crush your confidence. That negative energy. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. And in this market, because it is a little bit tougher, it is a little harder, makes a big difference on your confidence. All right. Third thing I wrote down here on building sales confidence is learn from the success of others. Learn from the success of others. So when I say learn from success of others, what is one thing that you have at your disposal to do just that?
Pen and paper.
Pen and paper, sure. But what else do you have access to? When I say learn from the success of others, what do you have access to be able to do that?
Education from the office on Zoom.
Education from the office on Zoom. The interviews. The masterminds. I mean, Neil's done what? Almost 100 mastermind interviews in the last 2 years of agents. Almost all of them, all of them pretty much earning $500,000 or more. Most of them earning over $1 million either themselves or their team. Go back and watch those. What are they doing? What are they saying? What's their mentality? What's their body language? How do they go about their business? See, increasing sales confidence is simply putting your ego aside that you have to do it your way. If you want to increase confidence, stop telling yourself, well, I have to do it my way. I have to build it my way. I have to do my foundation. Okay. Anyone ever heard the phrase, you don't have to reinvent the wheel?
Yes.
But our confidence takes a hit sometimes because we think, well, they are, no, I want to do it this way. I want to do it that my way. Or, the people that say, well, I'm self-made. It's the biggest crock of crap statement there ever is, because what, nobody ever had help? A self-made millionaire. No one ever guided you. No one ever helped you. No one ever coached you. No one ever trained you. You just magically did it all on your own. Learn from the success of others. So when I was learning how to do stocks and different things like that, one of the classes I went to, they teach you, the term is follow the money, right? And what that statement is, figure out what the big money people are doing, either companies, individuals, okay? Where are they moving their money? You should probably move your money the same way. And the instructor told us, Well, you're probably never going to have as much money as at the time. This was when Warren Buffett was the richest man in the world. You're probably never going to have as much money as Warren Buffett. So just follow him. And yes, you'll never pass him, but you can make a lot of money in the process. But see, some people go, well, no, I want to pass that guy. I want to pass that gal. So I can't follow them. I have to do the opposite. You just simply learn from the success of others, do what they do. If you want what others have, simply do what they do. In real estate, it's the same type of thing. Okay? You can easily increase your confidence by just learning from the success of others and accepting the fact that it's okay to copy and paste. I want you to write this down. There's no such thing as stealing in real estate. Okay? I have a little secret for you. I have a little secret. Some of you are going to be mind blown what I'm going to say. The scripts that we practice every day, somebody else wrote them. I know. We stole them from somebody else because we realized that they worked. And so we decided we should implement them to our agents. But see, sometimes we don't do that. We got to do it our way. I got to do my script. Okay. Learn from the success of others to help build your sales confidence. And when you listen to a lot of these masters, here's the funny thing about real estate. When you listen to a lot of success from others, do they have typically very different plans, or does everyone kind of have the same general guideline and foundation? Same general guideline and foundation, right?
Yeah.
Don't reinvent the wheel. Set your ego aside if you want to build confidence in the sales business. Learn from the success of others. All right, I wrote down here next. This is kind of a carry on from learn from the success of others, is keep an open mind. Okay, keep an open mind. See, in order to increase anything, you have to be open-minded that there is room to increase. So therefore, if you want to increase your sales confidence, you have to be open-minded that there is room to increase your confidence. So let's try this out. Who here thinks that they can become more confident in sales? Okay. So for the 6 of you that said yes, I'm glad you're here. The rest of you, I don't know why you are, apparently. Okay. As we're talking about increasing sales confidence, and some of you are just like, nah, I'm good. All right. You have to be open-minded. You have to be open-minded that there is a better way. You have to be open-minded that there is another way you can look at things. You have to be open-minded that you can get better. You have to be open-minded and never settle for less than being the best. Okay? See, when you're not open-minded and you're closed-minded, that means when somebody comes to you with a really great idea to increase confidence, you essentially shush them away. I have it figured out. But here's what I also want to, I wrote down here under open-minded. Being open-minded does not just mean that you're looking for confirmation. So here's what I mean by that. Sometimes people only are open-minded just to make sure that what they're doing is correct. So they have their system, this is their way of doing it, and all they want to know is if you do it the same way, just to justify that, see, I'm doing it right. But if you had done it a different way, they would have said, they don't know. It's a totally different thing. Right? I'm sure you all know somebody that if they say yes to something and 99 people say no, But one person says yes, then they have figured out that what they think is correct. 99 people told them something different, but all they needed was one person to agree with them, and they said, yep, see, I told you. That's not being open-minded. You're just looking for confirmation that what you're doing is correct. That's not going to build your sales confidence. So you have to be open-minded that there is another way. There is another opportunity. Also, being open-minded allows you to grow, improve your mindset. If you're closed-minded, you can't become better at anything. Is there somebody in real estate that is doing more production than you?
Yes.
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 Now, the good news is everybody has to say yes. Okay, with the exception of maybe Karen Bernardi. Maybe Karen Bernardi goes, I don't think so. Everyone else with an active real estate license has to say yes, which means you have to be open-minded that maybe there's more. That will help you with your confidence because it allows you to know that there's more, which keeps the drive going. Part of building confidence is your drive, your inner drive, your excitement. Know that there's more. That will increase your confidence. All right, the next point I wrote down here is master the fundamentals. You want to increase your confidence, master the fundamentals. So what would be an example in real estate of mastering the fundamentals?
Scripts.
Scripts.
How about a schedule?
Schedule.
How about scheduling prospecting? How about knowing the contracts and disclosures inside and out?
There you go.
How about
There you go.
follow-up? How about great customer service? Calling them before they call you, et cetera, et cetera.
What he said. All those points. Master the fundamentals. Okay. So mastering the fundamentals, scripts, knowing what to say and how to say it. If you don't know what to say in any situation in life, are you confident in what you're doing? No. Okay. Let's play an example. What is something you know? Somebody volunteer and give me something that they know nothing about. Don't say real estate, please.
Brain surgery.
Brain surgery, great. So if you walk into a room with 5 brain surgeons who are talking about this brain surgery and all the different things you go in, are you going to walk in confidently going, gosh, can't wait to get involved in this conversation?
No.
No, because you don't know the topic. You don't know what to say. I don't even know the terms. Brain surgeons use words that have like 18 letters in them. And once you get past 6 or 7 letters in a word, I'm in trouble. Yeah, that's not my cup of tea. So in any situation, we could talk about brain surgery, we could talk about boats, we could talk about whatever, cars. I don't know anything about cars except how much they cost. That's all I got. So if I go into a mechanics and everyone's talking about, oh, look at all this, I'm not going to be any confident. I'm like, yeah, well, yeah, nothing. Know what to say and how to say it. The scripts, the listing presentation gives you more confidence, right? Anyone ever here seen 2 guys or gals argue over sports? And they are 100%, and the confidence is amazing, is the best part. Because they are absolutely convinced that what they're arguing about when it comes to sports is they've got it figured out. Right? And it's like, wow, look at the confidence in these people. They're no idea what they're talking about. They've never played. They don't coach. They don't announce. They don't attend. They've never seen any of these players play. They check the stat box, but the confidence they have. because they believe that they know the subject. You should have that same belief when it comes to real estate, that if somebody questioned your commission, if somebody questioned your price, your marketing methods, that you could have that same energy and same confidence that sports radio people or anything like that, or just two people talking about sports have. Because that is one topic where like people get really passionate and really confident that they know what they're talking about. Mastering, knowing what to say and how to say it, having a schedule. If you wake up in the morning and you have no idea what you're going to do for the day, does that increase or decrease your confidence?
Decrease.
I see a couple down, decrease. Yeah. Wake up today going, if you know what you're going to do, you wake up and go, all right, let's go. If you don't know what you're going to do, you wake up and go, tired. I get ready. I don't know where I'm going to go. I don't know what I'm going to do. What am I going to do today? Have a schedule. Master the fundamentals. That might be the biggest one in increasing your confidence. On that same note, I wrote down here, be a subject matter expert. Become a subject matter expert. You want to increase your confidence, be an expert. So what do I mean? In real estate terms, what does being a subject matter expert mean?
Know your product.
Know your product, right? Okay. Know your product. What can I do to know my product?
More product knowledge.
More product knowledge. Okay. How can I do that?
Or preview.
Preview. Yukiko. Shh. Can't say the P word.
Oh,
I don't want you to preview property. What I want you to do is go see homes that are for sale. That's what I want you to do. For years, Neil's has not been able to get people to preview, so I have a different way of saying it. Just go see homes that are for sale. All right, but yeah, preview. Study the market stats. Know your product. Here's an example of your sales confidence being totally destroyed. The client knows more about the market than you do. You want to increase confidence, make sure that you know the market better than your client. And here's the fun part. In 2022, that's actually really hard to do. Because your clients, buyers or sellers, when somebody has decided to buy or sell a house, do they stalk Redfin and Zillow? Stalk it. I mean, like creeper status, stalking massive things on Redfin and Zillow when somebody decides to buy or sell real estate. They know what's going on. So you have to have the challenge of, all right, even though I know my clients are stalking Redfin and Zillow all day long, they're looking to buy or sell, I have to still know more than they do.
mm-hmm.
Because the worst thing for your confidence is if a client calls you and say, hey, what's going on with the listing across the street from my house? And you go, what? What listing? Or you go, let me get back to you, because you're like, I have no idea what the hell they're talking about. That is not good. Your confidence just took a hit, because in your mind, psychologically, as you're looking this up, you're going, oh my gosh, they know more about the market than I do. Oh my gosh, what did I say? Did I say that okay? Did I sound all right? Your total confidence is just totally shot because they called you out on a listing that you didn't know about. This is why I tell people all the time, don't email buyers properties. Don't email buyers. Don't set them up on an automatic email. Because if you set it up on an automatic email, they get the listing as soon as the listing hits the MLS, and there's a possibility then they will know about the listing before you do. which means the buyer calls you and say, hey, thanks for sending me that listing at 123 Main Street. Can we go see it? And you don't even know what they're talking about. To me, that is a sales confidence destroyer, but we still set them up on automatic emails. Know your subject matter, know the market. Now, I also wrote down here under, yes,
On those automatic emails, what I do is I set it up to go to, I have 2 email accounts, and I just have it set up to go to my other email account instead of that person. And then that way, boom, they hit me, and then I know what's going on.
there you go. Good idea. Good idea.
Robert, on this last point, the one thing I've noticed since Neil was telling us to take a look at the stats before we call people, if you can figure out how to say it in a bite-sized way, don't make their eyes glaze over with a lot of information, but you're so jazzed that you're letting them know they're the first people on earth to know about this fact.
Yes.
And if you say it in such a way and energetic, it's a bite-sized piece that they'll repeat and they'll say, my agent told me that. It's just true.
It's a great
And
point.
It's happened. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great point. You're 100% right. On that note, okay, as far as increasing confidence, you have to actually believe what you're saying. So let me give you an example. You don't have to, I don't want anyone to answer this because I don't want to start a debate. Okay, so nobody answer. But if a client thinks that the market's going to crash, so they're going to wait, and you also think the market's going to crash, you're not going to be able to convince them to do anything right now, because you're not going to be able to fake that confidence. They're going to pick up on that. Okay. So you have to totally believe, we talk about this, the prices might soften with these interest rates. If you don't really think the prices are going to soften, don't use that script. Because this is how you're going to sound. And we know as this trend continues, the prices are going to soften. The client's going, well, you weren't very convincing on that idea, because you're not bought into it. So you have to believe what you're saying. So if you don't believe it, use a different pitch. Use a different script. Okay, whatever the case may be. Now, it doesn't mean you have to give up the sales. They say, well, do you think the market's going to crash? And you might think that the market's going to crash. You could just simply say, well, look, nobody knows for sure. Why do you want to buy? Why do you want to sell? Get back to the motivation. But don't go into, well, it's not going to crash, because let me tell you why, if you don't really believe it. Because now you're trying to convince yourself, not them. And yeah, that's not going to help your confidence. I also wrote down here, last point on becoming subject matter expert is personality styles. Your confidence will increase when you know how to deliver information to different types of people. Who here is expressive? Be honest.
Me.
Okay, great. So let's be honest here. Analyticals can be kind of tough, right? For an expressive. Yeah. So you're an expressive, I'm an expressive, and I find out somebody's an analytical. If I don't know how to deliver information or personality styles, this is what I do. Oh no. Oh no. Right? My confidence went from a 10 to an 8, maybe to a 6, maybe to a 5. Because I don't know how to talk to analyticals. Who here's a driver? Tess, you can't be both. You can't be expressive and a driver. Who here is
I'm
a driver?
box 5. Just kidding.
Yeah, box 5. Yeah, you're far from that. Okay. Okay. Drivers. Great. Now, who here is an amiable? Okay. So you're an amiable and you find out that they're a driver. Can that be a little intimidating?
Yes, it can.
Yes, it can. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So the confidence level goes from, wow, all right, I got a listing appointment. And then you pre-qualify them. And you go, oh my gosh, they're a driver. And the anxiety, the confidence level goes from a 10 to a 6, and the anxiety level goes from a 3 to a 7. So you're going into the presentation on edge, knowing personality styles, knowing how to communicate them is knowing your subject matter to help increase your confidence. Otherwise, it gets really hard and very frustrating. All right, 3 more points here as we wrap up. Okay, number 7, not going to spend too much time on because it really kind of explains itself. Learn from your successes and failures. If you want to increase confidence, learn from your successes and failures. Now, I'm going to keep this very simple. Okay, when I mean learn from your successes and failures, because people like write theses on learning from success and failures and all these other different things. Here's what I mean by learn from your successes and failures. Find out what worked and do more. Find out what didn't work and don't do it again. That's it. That's my big article on learn from your successes and failures. But that will increase your confidence. I know this worked, so I can do that again, which means I'm super confident in doing this because I know it worked. I know this didn't work, so I'm super confident because I know I'm not going to do that again. But if you don't do that, okay, who knows the definition of insanity?
Doing the
What
same
is it?
thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
There it is. So if you don't learn from your successes and your failures, you are technically insane. Not trying to make a joke or be funny. That's the reality. Nobody here thinks being insane is a positive thing. So that's why the old sales cliche of every no gets me closer to a yes is the biggest bunch of crap there is. Well, every no gets me closer to a yes. Not if you get any better. Don't get any better. If every pitch is like this, hey, so I was thinking maybe you might want to sell or buy, or maybe someday, I don't know. What do you think? And they say, no, thanks, and click. Well, every no gets me closer to a yes. Let's try that again. I was thinking maybe one day, possibly if you're interested in maybe buying, or nope. Okay, click. Every no gets me close. No, it doesn't. But if you learn from your failures and go, oh, wow, that pitch sucked. I should probably improve. Then you can get closer to a yes. Learn from both. All right, last 2 points I wrote down here. Number 8, make your surroundings set up for success and sales. Make your surroundings set up for success and sales. So here's what I mean by that. If your desk is a mess, are you feeling very good at that very moment? No.
No.
Your desk is a mess. There's papers everywhere. You got Post-its all over your computer. You can't even see the screen anymore, right? I've seen some of your computer screens, right? You got Post-its everywhere. You got things here. You got stuff on this board, stuff on that board. There's highlighted thing. You're a mess. How are you going to confidently get on the phone and talk to somebody when you're looking at this disaster in front of you? Your surroundings have to be set up for sales and success. So you have to clean up your station. You have to be comfortable in your workstation. You need to have stuff on walls that's actually going to help you with sales. You know, some of you have your desk set up and there's, you know, all these different things all over the walls. And I'm like, all right, I'm sure there's a reason for that. I'm not sure what it is, but okay. Right? Oh, you have 94 different scripts up there. So if somebody calls you, how can you identify what to say? Right? I have every script that Mike Ferry and Neil ever wrote right here. So somebody calls and they say, oh yeah, you called me? Oh, you're an expired? Hold on. Oh, there it is. All right, you still there? I got these. Here's my objections. Here's my scripts. All right. You got to have it set up to where it's sales success. So check your surroundings. How's your desk look? How's your surrounding area? Last point I wrote down here. This is going to sound funny. It's going to sound like a joke, but I'm telling you, this is the truth. Sales confidence. This is specific to real estate. Specific to real estate and building sales confidence. Understand that most of your competitors are incompetent in this field. If you want to build your confidence in real estate, understand that's not really hard to do, because everyone else in your field, for the most part, is totally incompetent. So the bar is set really low in terms of having confidence in real estate. It's not like other professions. Sales professions, oh, there's a ton of incompetent people, but it's not like every other profession where if you're a brain surgeon, okay, I know every brain surgeon went through a lot of school, spent a lot of money, did a lot of trial runs. Whew, I got to really increase my confidence because I'm with the best of the best. Lawyers, all these other things. In real estate, oh gosh, Robert, I don't know, man. I'm just not very confident in this business. I don't know if I can do it. 80% of people close less than 3 transactions a year. 50% close 0. Most real estate agents don't know how to write a contract, no matter how long they've been in business.
Did you say 50%?
50%, give or take a percentage every year, nationally, with an active real estate license, close 0 transactions. And we look at these numbers, Neil and I, every time when we go through Broker Matrix, when we're doing our company comparisons, and it is roughly about 50%. So if you're role playing, if you're going to a sales training class, if you are talking to people, your confidence level should really be very, very high, because almost all people with an active real estate license are not doing any of that. I interviewed a gal the other day to try to bring onto the company. She's an agent that's been in the business for 6 months. And I said, 6 months, why are you leaving your office so quickly? And she said, well, I didn't really know what office to go to. So I went to this particular office, and I'm 6 months into the business, and they got all these agents that have been around 15, 20 years. And I got a deal, and I went to them to help me write up a contract, and they said they didn't know how.
Wow.
Now, here's the thing, though. We have agents in our company that are the same way. I'm not proud of that. I'm just being honest. Now, we are probably better than others, but there are agents that are just don't know contracts. So accept the fact that this is an industry that promotes incompetence, because all you have to do is pay your dues. If you role play every day, if you prospect, if you do what you're supposed to do, your confidence level should be really high in this business, because your competitors are nowhere to be found doing those types of things. So remember that always. Questions on everything we went over? Okay. All right. Well, hopefully there was 1 or 2 things that were helpful.